Brad, how you doing, man?
Good to be here with you, Alex. Usually it's my old boss, Ernie, doing these with you. I feel privileged to be here with you.
So, Brad, what we need to do is we need to snap a picture and then send it to Ernie.
That's right.
He's now one of my neighbors right here in Colorado,
Yep.
and I can send him that picture and say, "Hey, we miss you, buddy."
We do. We miss his presence on here, and he's an expert at these, as are you. And yeah, we'll be recording this, right, Alex, for everybody, because I've already gotten questions about getting the recording.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're so glad that before we said one thing, inspirational, motivational, educational, people already want a copy of it. That means we've opened it properly. So thank you very much for all that interest. All right, everyone, let's get going. We are talking about the power of trust. I'm here with Brad. Why is this jumping around like this on me? Come on, let's go back. There he is. I'm here with Brad, who's our VP of Sales here at Homebot, and then I'm your CEO, the CEO here at Sales Boomerang, Alex Kutsishin, and I will be leading the conversation with Brad, talking about trust.
Alex, I got right into it. Contention. Your picture is way cooler than my picture, so I'm gonna have to work on that for next time.
You like that? That's good, and it's my jab arm. It's good. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not helpful. Yes. Any boxing fans out there, let me know. There's only a few good boxers left out there that's worth watching. Lemonchenko being my favorite of them all. Do you watch boxing, Brad?
Lennox Lewis was my favorite. Late '90s boxing. Klitschko.
That guy had a serious jab.
Yep.
All right. So we're talking about trust, everyone. With great power comes great responsibility. One of the greatest powers a lender can exhibit is building and maintaining a trustworthy brand with its customers. Hit me up in the chat if you think that is a powerful, positive, accurate statement. Say yes, thumbs up, smiley face. You know, is it one of the most important things that a lender can do? We want you guys engaged. We're putting up polls. We're asking you guys jump into chat. We're asking you guys to invite your friends because this is interactive. Brad and I are here to help elevate, right? We're not here to sell Sales Boomerang. We're not here to sell Homebot, even though we're going to be talking about them. And yes, they are the best in breed technologies that you all should be looking at. So you will have reasons to look at us after this, but we are not here to do that alone. We're here to inspire you to think about trust and think about this industry just a little differently. So let's get into the first poll. Do your borrowers trust you? Now, I know this is very subjective. I know anyone, but just be honest. What do you think? Like, what do you think? And then we're going to ask a question that correlates to that trust. Like, what do you think the trust is equaling? What is the value? How do you put an objective, not a subjective, but an objective goal around trust? Okay. So do you think your borrowers trust you? Everybody jump in. Don't be scared. It's clicking a button. Put down the phone. Don't worry about your emails. Don't worry about Slack. I know a lot of you just listen, but we want you to engage, okay? We don't want you to get knowledge out of this. We want you to get knowledge that you can use to take action with. And you can't take action unless you're engaged and you have some way in, right? By the way, everybody write this down. Huge lesson while you're answering this question. As soon as you're finished answering, write this down. If you want people to buy in, you need them to weigh in. If you want people to buy in, you need them to weigh in. So guys, weigh in, right? Everyone wants to get something out of this. Let's get the results to this poll question and let's have the next part of this conversation. Let's see what we got. Yes, they do. 79% say yes, they do. I think so. 21 said, I think so. And 0% said they're shopping on me. Hey, that's good. That's good. Very interesting results, in my opinion, Brad. I did not imagine that no one would say they're shopping on me because I don't know if you hear this, Brad, but we hear all the time, our borrowers are always shopping on us. Do you hear that?
Shopping's at an all-time high from what we hear.
So very interesting, right? So here's a situation, everyone, where the industry is screaming out, we need more people to talk to. There is too much competition. We're not getting the eyes and ears of our borrowers exclusive to us. And yet everyone on this call just said 0 people are shopping on me. So there is a little disparity between what's happening and what we're hearing here. And so if your borrowers trust you, Brad, and let's dive into this for just a second. If your borrowers trust you, then the people that said, the 79% of you that said they do, are you seeing that reflection in your retention rates, in your conversion rates, in the profit per loan? and the time from conversation to conversion. Are you seeing those? And I want you to answer right now. People in chat, I want you guys to answer in chat. Do you see that reflection? 79% of you said they trust you. Are you hitting your numbers? Are you closing faster than you've closed before? Are you closing at the same speeds you closed before? Are you getting as much profit? Be honest with me, say yes or no. Beautiful.
Alex, I'd add one question. Are you getting questions that are just what are rates today and what's my home worth? Because if those are the two questions you're getting over and over again, you're being rate shopped. If you're getting questions about how do I tap into my equity? How do I leverage my equity?
Yes.
Should I be selling my home or buying my home? You might not be getting rate shopped. But if all you're getting are the two superficial questions that every loan officer seems to be getting over the last few years, what's rates today and what's my home worth? You're probably being rate shopped because you don't have engaged consumers right now that are asking you questions that are really pertinent to their situation.
I love that addition, Brad. And I see Test, which is one of my favorite names I see in chat ever. And then Rodney saying, yes, we are closing faster. We are getting repeat business. We are getting profitability. That's two of the majority that spoke. So I would have loved to hear from everyone, yes or no, if that's happening. But Brad, you make a great point. Are you getting shopped, right? Are you getting shopped? Are they asking questions that are shopping questions versus buying questions? Very different, right? And are you guiding them to those buying questions rather than shopping questions? And are you guiding them based on trust or based on fear? That's another part of the conversation. Fear typically leads to lots of shopping activity. So look, we see some amazing stats here. Average borrower retention at 18%. Again, the lowest out of all major industries, just so you guys know. When we joined the industry back in 2017, the number was 14 to 15% based on Black Knight's numbers. It's jumped. Okay, so that's a good sign. We're moving in the right direction. We are incorporating strategies, which is why Homebot and Sales Boomerang are in existence and are preaching the thing that creates trust for people to be able to come back. So no comparison shopping. Only 30% are doing no comparison shopping, which really does kind of speak to the statistics we've seen, where about upwards mid 70% of people go with the first lender they speak to. So it shows you about 30% are not comparison shopping. One lender mortgage app is 18%. Anything to add to this, Brad?
Yeah, I don't think the servicing retention rate really helps people on this call because most of you are just selling your loan off or having your company service it. We're probably going to see this 18% climb a little bit because not a lot of people are going to be refinancing the next couple of years. They locked in their forever rate sub 3% last couple of years. But if I do math correctly, 100% minus 30%, that means 70% people are rate shopping. If they are, you need to make a lasting impact on the consumer so they remember you. Yes. And the way that you make that lasting impact is just remember your strengths, right? Leverage your strengths, remember your strengths. And sometimes, honestly, just being honest and transparent with your clients that maybe you don't have the best rate. Maybe you don't have the best closing fees. But you know what, Alex, everybody in the call and every loan officer in this country has something better than closing fees and the best rate. They have their time. They have their valuable time that they can give to their clients to answer their questions, to guide them into the right options. If you give your time, you may be given their business. And I'll be honest, Alex, I'm not that naive to think that people won't rate shop, even if you do give your time. My wife is a loan officer, does loans for friends and family on the side sometimes. Even our best friends rate shopped her with Quicken. It just sort of happens, right? Because people are just sort of sold to be and marketed and taught to rate shop. Just think about rates. But I promise you, if you give something to someone, they will want to give something back. And if you give your valuable time and your guidance, you're going to get people's business and you're going to earn their trust.
Our friends at Mortgage Coach say it best, in my opinion: advice over price. Advice over price. Okay. Think about those things as you're talking and building trust. And guys, everyone that's on this call, just think about this for just a minute. Does Quicken have the lowest rates in the country? No, they don't. But they do more loans than everyone else. So there's something they're doing that when your loan officers say, hey, they're shopping me based on price, just give them that example. Just that example alone is what you need to give them. So why is trust important? How do you build trust? Right, Brad? I believe you were going to throw this one at me, and I read it. Go ahead.
Well, and I would love to know what trust means to you, Alex. And I'll just say, trust is really important for this business, for our industry. It's not only good for your individual loan officer business or your mortgage business, but it's good for the industry. And I'll just say, automation is removing a lot of the tasks that loan officers used to have to do, a lot of paper pushing that they no longer really have to do. What's going to be left after automation takes off all that paper pushing from you? You've got your experience, you've got your professionalism, you've got your local knowledge, and quite frankly, you have your ability and desire to help people. Pushing paper is not your differentiator. Embrace the automation so that you can leverage your differentiators, because that's how you're going to build trust and ultimately grow your book of business, is through embracing what you can do differently that big box lenders will try to automate, as opposed to you actually providing that personal touch and guidance.
So look, you made great points here, Brad. Let's to get to the heart of this. Why is trust important? How do you build trust? I'll give everybody an example that I think you can relate to. All of us on this call have friends. And we have a circle of friends. It could come from family members, coworkers, just friends that you grew up with. And when you're asking someone for advice or an opinion, we each have that friend that we know when we ask them this question, they're going to tell us not something that is for their own agenda, but they will always tell us the thing that they know is honest to us. That is trust, where they are selfless in their answers. They're selfless in their pursuit in their relationship building with you, rather than selfish, giving you answers because it makes them feel better about themselves, giving you answers that will hurt them less. No. Why is trust important? Trust is important because you want somebody to come to you and know for a fact that you're giving them the answer that is best for them because they asked you a question about what's best for them. And you're answering that question, not your own. That's why trust is important. So that when your borrower gets on the phone with you and you explain to them that you may not have the best rates, but you won't even have to say that, guys. You will not even have to say those words. You will just be the person, the lender, the institution that they trust, because you're never answering questions for your own gain. You're only answering the question they're asking.
I really
love
why
that trust is important.
Alex. That is so cool to say, because innately in the mortgage process, there has to be trust. You're handing over your bank documents, you're handing over your expenses, how much you're spending on certain things. They know more about you than your mama does when the process is done. But where you're taking this trust concept is really interesting, because what you're saying is, people, it's just sort of table stakes that people are going to give you this information that's really, really critical to their lives. But then if they really also trust you in a different way, they're going to ask you questions that speak to the trust that they have, because they're actually trying to have you guide them into the right options, the right deal, the right loan, all that sort of stuff. So trust is innate in this process, but you still have to build it enough to get their goals from them so you can understand how you can actually help them achieve their goals.
If you interview a top producing originator, actually, you can do this in any industry. We're just talking about lending right now. You speak to a top producer, they will tell you how often they tell their customers, now is not the time. This is not the best. That's not what we should do. We should wait. Let's hold off. Try that over there. And all of a sudden, they're doing $200 million a year themselves. And they say no more than they say yes. That's trust. That's knowing that the person is not making decisions based on themselves. They're making it based, and that is less. By the way, in chat, if not everyone has noticed, this is an awesome white paper, how to become your borrower's BFF. Get over there, click on that, download that. Awesome information in there, super powerful information in there. All right, Brad, let's keep this going. Again, I hope everyone's taking little notes. I see the number of attendees continuing to grow. So you guys are sending out text, emails, and getting people to join. This is a very important topic. Get your team to listen. How does technology create a stronger relationship with the borrower? Brad, how does technology do that?
I'm going to answer that, but I love what you just said about become your BFF. People buy from people. right? They don't buy from companies. They don't,
Yes.
don't buy from Acme Lending or Widget Lending. They buy from Alex. They buy from Brad. They buy from the person. And you've got to humanize and personalize yourself and build that personal relationship. And I don't think right now a lot of big companies are building these personal relationships with their clients. What they're doing is spending millions of dollars on marketing campaigns. They're spending millions of dollars on misleading advertisements on social media. They're sponsoring bass fishing and ice skating. Yikes. All right. I mean, it may sound silly, but are people really in the mood for being sold alone when watching football? Probably not. But the point that I'm making is that brand imprints upon them and stays with them. And you've got to find a way to imprint your brand with your clients. You don't have millions of dollars to spend, but you can invest in technology that automates and stays in front of your clients on a regular cadence in an impactful way. How can you leverage technology to cut through noise and build your brand around trust and empowerment? Again, your differentiating value, because reaching your clients through automated technology in a way they're used to is key. Mobile responsive applications, engaging consumer portals, video content, make it easy, make it fun, but build your brand around empowering your clients, because I'll tell you what, your competition is trying to market to them and take them from your sphere of influence, if you will.
Yeah. So I would say this, and again, if anyone is in the audience that is like, here's how we use technology to make our relationship stronger, put it in there. We'll discuss it. We'll bring it up. Add to the conversation here, guys. So how does technology create stronger relationships with the borrower? In my opinion, guys, there is no separation between technology and lender. There is none, right? It is married. We are married to technology now. And the expectations of our clients are also married to technology. So you build stronger relationships by using technology to augment, support a human relationship, not replace it, right? Creating that creating all the reasons why we are now ingesting 48 to 72 hours of information in a 10-hour period in our day. Like literally, that's how much stuff is flying at us. And so there's no way without technology that we can be the great relationships that we are today. Think about how you're staying in touch with your friends. Think about how you're staying in touch with family, with your content, your media. How are you staying, filling those buckets of your life? You're using technology. So guys, there is no separation. So you need to stop separating relationship and technology. It is one and the same. It's how will you use that? Right? That's it. It's not if you're using it, how are you using it? And you're using it to augment and supplement where you yourself as a human being can no longer offer the same amount of attention that you could 10 years ago with less responsibility and incoming requests that we get every single day. Right now we get text mails, email, Slacks, and other communication, like it's coming from everywhere. So we have to be able to use technology to do the response and to keep in touch with people.
And to help you scale those responses too. I mean, most people aren't having their client meetings face-to-face anymore. But if you can leverage video in order to scale your coaching and your access to your clients, there's a reason why YouTube has billions of views a year, right? People are used to it, and you can provide personalized guidance and coaching through video and other ways of personalizing yourself without having to have the 30-minute, 45-minute meeting every time. You can actually leverage technology to scale your business also.
Most definitely. And right before we get to this poll, I'm going to give somebody a really cool tip that comes from our conversations with experience.com and a research they've done in millennials and next gen buyers. One of the coolest things everyone needs to implement here at Sales Boomerang, we're gonna help automate this for our lenders. That is bundling borrowers into a webinar experience. So instead of talking to one-to-one borrowers anymore, what we found out, next gen buyers, millennial buyers, they rather hear information in a group environment because they feel safe, because somebody may ask a question they wouldn't be able to ask, and they make buying decisions from groups using group insights. And so what we're planning on doing is, let's say we delivered 80 notifications today and 20 of them look identical, meaning they have the same benefit if something happens. Instead of reaching out to each 20 individually, actually reach out to 20 at the same time and invite them to a webinar where you can give them the value in a group setting It's really, really cool. So just a tip, that's another way to build trust with the new generation, by the way, is stop selling to them and actually put them in groups where they can conversate with their peers, and they make buying decisions way faster when they do that. So incredibly important tip. We have way more on that to come too. So if that's a question you guys want to learn more about, check in with Sales Boomerang, and we'll give you guys more insights on that. All right, Brad, let's go to this next poll question. How would you rate your digital mortgage experience? Let's go through this one quickly. Audience, we're about 5 to 10 minutes away from getting into the meat, the real, this was setting the stage, and then we're going to get into the meat. So let's answer this question. The more answers we get, the greater the conversation. So look at your screen, answer this question. How would you rate your digital mortgage experience? Cutting edge and seamless. Some parts are good, some parts are good, but needs work. And it's pulling teeth at the dentist. Ooh, I like that last one. Very honest. How would you rate your digital experience? Let's give it another 15 seconds, and then let's look at the results. I'm hoping to see a lot of people in the middle there, because I see that from conversations with a lot of people that we speak to, and everyone, I will say everyone is much better off today than they were 5 years ago, but are we where we want to be? Let's see these results. There we go.
Called it, Alex.
Yeah. Kind of figured this would be the case. So 62% said needs some work. 8% of you say it's like pulling teeth. So let me just address the 8% that said this. Listen, contact one of us two today and begin your journey on building that technology. I'm telling you right now, Brad can recommend best in breed. Sales Boomerang can recommend best in breed. You want someone. We here, Homebot and Sales Boomerang, are not vendors. We are partners. The difference between vendor and a partner, everybody knows, right? A vendor does what you want. A partner gives you what you need. Gives you what you need. That is what Homebot and Sales Boomerang are. So look, many of you said you're right in the middle. This is exactly what this conversation is about, because we're using technology, we're using strategy to build trust, okay? And we need people to trust us going into the next couple years in this market, because there's going to be a lot of people that missed a home they wanted to get. They're going to be thinking about, oh my goodness, I missed my opportunity for a dream home. I have not been able to find it. What do I do next? They need you to tell them, right, Brad? Hey, the best, smartest investors and wealth managers in the country are taking all the equity out of their house and putting it to work. Is that a recommendation for someone that couldn't buy their dream home? What can they do? Can they put it back into their home? So this is the thing that we're going to need to be able to offer. And your technology needs to be right there with your advice, needs to be right there with your intentions.
I love that. And going back to your, Homebot and Sales Boomerang being partners, I couldn't agree more. It's so important. We really try to keep in tune with what's right for your consumers and what's right for our customers.
Yes.
When it comes to a digital mortgage experience, Homebot, Sales Boomerang, we're not an LOS, right? We're not an application process. That's not us. But what we can do really well is after that loan has closed. And I'll just sort of relate it to something, because again, I'm not an LOS expert. I'm not a point of sale expert, but I am an expert in selling and customer service. At least I like to think I am. And as sales professionals, when Alex and I's team sell a customer of ours an enterprise deal, our involvement doesn't stop. Our support doesn't start or stop. It's just the beginning. We do a lot of regular check-ins with our customers. We call them quarterly business reviews or professional health partnership health reviews. We do topical webinars and trainings to make sure people are maximizing their investment. Alex just hit on it on the equity stuff. Why would selling a home be any different than selling anything else to a customer? It's that post-close support that builds that brand loyalty, builds that customer buy-in, ultimately getting those referrals as well. Your relationship with your client shouldn't and can't stop when the title company hands the keys over. It's just the beginning. And I'll just say, a lot of loan officers in the last couple of years, they didn't have to do their annual check-ins with their clients. They didn't have to do a lot of those one-on-one personal coachings. But we're going to have to get back to basics here. We're going to have to leverage technology to demystify complex concepts. We're going to have one-on-one coaching, or one-to-many coaching, as Alex was referring to. But we're going to have to educate clients with automated and personal insights to help them maximize the time that you have with them, and not just questions about rates today and things like that. It's important to embrace technology to give those insights, but it's also important to embrace technology so that you can leverage your client's actions and have those actionable insights. But just one thing to be clear, when you sell that loan, just like when Alex and I sell a software solution, that's when our partnership begins.
Exactly.
That's when we start and earn the business for the next transaction.
And listen, Brad has just given you guys gold. He's given you gold. Your relationship begins after the transaction, but you want to tell the borrower that that's what's going to happen. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, our relationship doesn't begin until you are a customer and we're working. That's when the true value of this relationship begins. The fact that we're doing this loan for you isn't where the value is coming from. The value is coming from what happens now that you have this loan. How do we maximize? Like Brad said, how do you demystify what happens after the fact? And so, Brad, this is perfect transition into what are the minimum expected requirements for a digital mortgage journey? Like, what are the minimum, right?
To me, and again, speaking after the mortgage is closed, I have a slide when we go through our PowerPoint sometimes in presentations. We have this slide that says homeowners are terrible at making finance decisions. And I really don't like that slide. And I only leave it up there because I like to say it's not that they're terrible. It's just they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what questions to ask. Should I be buying? Should I be selling? Should I be tapping into equity? What is equity? What is an arm? I just thought it was an appendage of my body, but it's actually a mortgage vehicle. These are things, right? These are questions. So people didn't go to school to be a homeowner. People didn't go to school to have a mortgage loan and know what that is. It's on us to educate the consumers. The post-mortgage, the post-close digital mortgage journey is all about empowerment and an education. And I tell you, Alex, loan officers, brokers, mortgage companies with empowered consumers, they're engaged consumers. That's where your W-2s and your comp checks start to roll in, is when you have engaged and informed consumers, because they're actually going to they're going to ask you questions and lead to deal flow.
Love it. Love it. Let's keep it going here. We have a lot of things to cover. And now this is where the real meat comes in, building trust, because what is written on the screen is key. It makes me want to cheer. Okay. Makes me want to cheer this question, because this is it, everyone. We've set the stage talking about technology, talking about communication, right? How do you build trust by knowing when to help my borrowers? The answer is in the question, everybody. The answer is in the question. Knowing when to help my borrowers. I just had the pleasure of spending time with a world-renowned chef whose name escapes me, so I'm not going to sit here and try to remember his name. But he said something brilliant. He said something so brilliant. How his restaurants continue to grow and evolve is, he says, the best way to have someone come back and to be a loyal customer is to anticipate their needs. Anticipate their needs. Why am I bringing restaurant thinking and chef thinking into this conversation? Because if you have to ask your server every single time when your water runs out, if you have to ask them for a wine menu, if you have to ask them for the dessert menu, every single time, you're going to stop coming to that restaurant. But when you get to a place and they're anticipating your needs, they're anticipating the fact that you're getting ready to finish your meal and dessert and coffee menus would make the most sense. Your water is running low. Your kids' lemonade is running low, and they're on top of it. They're getting ahead of it. And they're suggesting, hey, if she likes lemonade, we have this lemon tart that would be all right. Anticipation is knowing. Knowing when to help your borrower is the fastest way to build trust and loyalty. Because if you know what's best for me, and you can anticipate that, and you can deliver it to me before I have to react to something, I've now found myself a relationship that I can rely on.
What a fun analogy, Alex. The lemon and the lemonade concept. So if I order lemonade, I might want the lemon dessert. What you're speaking to there is listening to the client's actions, right? They tell you what they want through their own actions and questions that they ask. If someone's looking to explore a neighborhood in Denver or in San Diego or something like that, they're looking at listings. They're telling you they may be looking to sell their home as well, right? You have to listen to what they're saying and then react accordingly. And I tell you, a lot of vendors out there, and I use vendors operably in Alex's comment on being a partner. There's a lot of vendors out there who will just promise their predictive algorithms. I can predict for you what your customer is going to do. No. Listen to them. Listen to them and what they're telling you through their own actions and conversations. And I promise you, the way to listen to them is not through barbecue recipes for vegetarians. It's not how to winterize your house in San Diego. It's not an email blast that rates dip slightly and you should act now. There's better ways to do that. Leave the predicting human behavior to the experts. Yes. Listen to your clients' actions and words. They're telling you what they're looking to do. And Sales Boomerang and Homebot can help you do that.
100%. I'll tell you guys, I'll take one P word over another P word. I would take preferred over predictive all day. All day. If I'm the preferred option, great. Spend your money on predicting. Have your prediction contact my customer that prefers me and inspire them to call me. Thank you. Right. So let's get into this. How can the most important part of the conversation is coming to life right now? How can we know how can we anticipate what we can do for our customer and become the preferred option? Brad, let's get into this.
Yeah, and one thing that's not on here, Alex, is Homebot has an activity feed. We have a top 10 most engaged email that goes out to you on Sundays. We have actionable insights and notifications that you can act upon quickly, speed the lead, if you will. In Homebot, it's such an engaging portal and platform for consumers. We have a 50% engagement rate across our 10 million or so consumers right now. And we can track all of their actions and activities for you. A lot of loan officers spent the last couple of years just sort of reactively taking deals in. We've got to go outbound. We've got to listen to our clients and we've got to call them in a timely and insightful manner. And when people are playing around with how long they're going to be in their home, what refi scenarios, are they looking to list? Are they looking to buy? Again, they're telling you through their own actions what they're trying to do or what they should maybe be thinking about. And if you go to the next slide, Alex, Homebot can help you in a lot of ways, or help your clients in a lot of ways. Again, what Homebot is thinking about is simply empowerment and information and education for your clients. That subsequently leads to deal flow. Of course, we wouldn't be in this business without providing value to our customers. Providing value to our customers is centered on providing value to your customers, your clients. And you can see in some of the pink boxes here, just ways again that we educate the consumer on what options they have. I didn't even know a 15-year existed until I got in the business 3 years ago. I didn't know what an ARM was. I didn't know what a cash out refi was. I pretended like I knew what a HELOC was, but I really didn't. And so now what Homebot can do is help demystify some of that really complex concepts, again, that nobody went to school to understand. What is equity? What are ways to tap into that equity? How can I actually build wealth with the home that I bought, turn it into an asset, as opposed to actually just living in it for 10, 15, 20 years. And if you go to the next slide, Alex, and what we know, about 60% or so of all current buyers in the industry or in the market are homeowners. People looking to sell their home and looking to buy a home. We can generate a lot of listings conversations for you and your agent partners, but put that aside for a second. Unfortunately, about 65% of consumers right now have buyer's remorse because they were forced or rushed into buying something because they were competing with above list offers, or they had to move quickly or thought they needed to move quickly, and they haven't made the right decisions for themselves. And what Homebot's going to do is actually take their own budget-based insights, their own insights based on their own financial situation, and recommend homes that might not be or that are a good buy, recommend people to think second or think twice on a home that might be out of their budget. So what we will do for all of your homeowners and prospective buyers, educate them on why this home is in their budget, a smart buy, or maybe not a smart buy. Again, being honest and transparent. And so that's ultimately going to lead to a transaction for y'all. If you go to the next slide, Alex, I think there might have been one before this, but this is fine too.
Is there one before that? Let me see if I can go back. Oh, there you go.
And transactions are important, but I just want to make sure, obviously, again, when your clients, we want to educate them, empower them, bring value to them, but we got to bring value to you. On average, our customer base, our loan officer base, they load 200 clients to Homebot. They're going to see about 10 to 12 funded loans per year. We're talking purchase transactions. We're talking cash out refi, standard refinancing. We can drive a significant amount of deal flow for you through that education and empowerment. If you go to the next slide, Alex, the other cool thing about Homebot is we know agent partnerships. Look, y'all, this isn't rocket science here. Agent partnerships in a purchase market are the thing. If you're not working with real estate agents, call me. Brad at homebot.ai, email me, because we need to change that perspective for you. You need to be working with real estate agents, and Homebot allows you to automate your referrals from your real estate agent partners in a really seamless way. It's a great way to grow your reach and drive those purchase conversations or those other refi and cash out refis. You already have these relationships. You may not have been putting them to work for you the last couple of years or been focusing on them, but now's the time. Now is the time to focus on these agent partnerships because there is no other way to compete in a purchase-driven market if you're not working with your real estate agent partners.
And we're talking about trust. I mean, what Brad just did. So first of all, let's unpack everything Brad just said for a second. We're talking about trust. We're talking about knowing. We said, hey, if you know what your customer needs, that is one of the best, if not the most powerful way to build trust and loyalty. And trust and loyalty comes from a team. Your agents are part of your team. Do not separate them. Do not create separation. Do not say, I am a lender, they are a realtor, and once in a while, we'll figure out a way to help each other on a mutual client. You need to be looking at your agents as literally the extension of your purchase team. And your agents need to literally be looking at you as an extension of their purchase team and refi team. If your agents are not referring refis to you, they do not look at you as part of their team. They're looking at you as a necessary evil. You need to flip the script. You need to be exactly what Brad is saying. And Brad, you know we're in complete alignment. Sales Boomerang has been preaching for years. Get your agents on your team. Get them to share their clients with you. Get them to give you their data, share the data so you can work on it together. There's a reason why Keller opened a mortgage company. They want cohesiveness. They know their teams will work together if they can say, there's no difference. You work with me, you work with me, you work with both. You're going to work with both. They start with your agent, they have you. They start with you, they have your agent. Never split it, right? Never. You're always one. And you don't need 1,000 agents, right, Brad? You need a handful, a dozen at tops, really strong partnerships. Because look at the clients they share. Look at what Brad's showing on screen. You keep adding their clients to your clients and your clients to them. And all of a sudden, you're producing more referrals for them than they've ever produced for you. Am I right, Brad?
That's right. Every loan officer in the country wants to be armed with the listing lead for their real estate agent, right? And you can do so through the power of Homebot, and then you put those relationships to work for you. And there's I love what you said there, Alex, about the agent being an extension of your mortgage team. The reality is real estate agents have a lot of cachet with their clients. They spend a lot of time with them, right? Driving the minivan around town, looking at all these homes, and they're getting to know them. There is a legit trust relationship that is built between a real estate agent and their client. And if you could tap into that trust as well, you're now also getting those automated referrals and you're getting deal flow, again, creating the extension of your mortgage team through the agent partnerships you already have.
And yet the repeat business on a realtor side is even lower, guys. It's even lower. So they need you. They need you to give them these insights and make the connections and treat them as an extension. And you should be looking for partners. Remember, it's trust. It's your borrower knows they can go to their agent or to you and get the same experience, and you're going to help them selflessly. Okay. Let's keep driving this message home. Okay. Because we're talking about knowing. Okay. We're talking about knowing your customer. Brad just showed you all the different ways you can know your customer based on their needs, based on and anticipating what they may want to get out of the mortgage or the home that they're looking at, right? Creating transparency between agent and loan officer. Now, Homebot specializes there. Sales Boomerang specializes in knowing your customer base. What is your customer base made of? A note to take. If you're going to take a note, here's another great note to take. Key takeaway. Your customer base is not the people you did loans for. That's a part of your customer base. That is not your entire customer base. So that's people you've done loans for. The other part of your customer base is your pipeline. The other part of your customer base is your turn downs. And the other part of your customer base is your leads, the ones you've purchased, but they never acted on any of your marketing. That is your customer base. And you want to be able to educate, retain, and profit from every single one of them, be able to help every single one of them. So what is Sales Boomerang the best in the world at? We're talking about knowledge, right? We're talking about information. So right now, most of your databases and customer bases look like this: a bunch of people Well, we don't know what's happening in their lives. But let me tell you what Better.com's customer base looks like. Zillow's, Rockets. This is what their customer base looks like right here. They know everything that's happening with their customers. Every single thing that they know they can help their customer with, they know. That's how they continue to win. Your customer base does not have to look like this. You're on the call with an organization that believes 100% into building trust based on knowing and anticipating the needs of your customer, getting to your customer before they go to the market. Hear that, getting to your customer before they go to the market. How do these companies that I just talked about win? Because their database and customer base looks like this. That is what
Alex, that's spot on, man. And Quicken just put out a statement. I think they retain 90% of their business that they market to because they know the customer that they're marketing to.
That's it.
You have got to prevent your client from Googling themselves into your competitor's pipeline, because once they're in the pipeline of the web of Quicken and whatnot, they're never going to get out.
That's it. Listen to that, guys. We say this a lot, Brad, right? We say, if you lose a borrower to a lender that uses borrower intelligence like Sales Boomerang, you're never getting that borrower back. You have the power. There's an entire army of data scientists that are ready to go to work for you, right? That can take your customer base and turn it into a knowledge base, rather than, I don't know, I hope I can get to my customer in time. And here's the thing that's very important to understand. When you incorporate intelligence into your system, into your practice, into your basic business strategy, you get results day one. This is real numbers. This is why it's so important to show this. Remember, we're talking about building trust based on knowledge, not on reaction. Knowledge of, hey, my customer is shopping for something. My customer has a cash out need today. So this is an organization that uploaded 47,000 records, and on day one had 221 opportunities arrive. 221 intelligence reports, intelligence insights, notifications that says, here's everyone in your database, your customer base, that needs you right now, that needs you today. In the first week, 300. In the first month, 3,000 opportunities in the first month for this organization. This is what is happening in your database. And without knowing it, you will not be able to build trust. You will always be reactive. You will always be transactional. When you know it, and you have things that will tell you the best things to offer to your customers when they need it. Brad just said it. Quicken does not do marketing without targeting. Listen to what I just said. Write this down. Quicken does not do marketing without targeting. They know who to contact and what to say. They're not guessing. They're not guessing. That's why they put out a wide web. They put out a wide web because they say, if you make it into our web, it's over. Like, we will find a way to sell to you and get you to trust us. So how can I differentiate myself from other lenders also trying to gain my borrowers' trust and business? Great question, Brad. You want to take a stab at this first?
I think it's a great question too. And I'll just say, first things first, it's all about the consumer. If the consumer is getting the information and support they need from another LO, then the industry wins. We all win. Just because our competitors are out there doesn't make them bad people. But if they're not giving the value to the consumer, if they're not giving the education and empowerment and that guidance that the consumer needs, that's where we have a problem. But if your competition is actually empowering your clients, then that's great, or their clients, that's great. That's what we should all be doing. We are here to empower the consumers, but there's varying levels of trust and ways to earn that trust. If you think about real estate agents, again, we talked about it earlier. How do they earn trust? They earn trust by being there, being present, being available. You may not be able to spend that much time with your clients that agents can, but spend time nonetheless. And leverage tools that keep that sort of regular check-in with your clients that provides value to their lives. Again, it's not barbecue recipes for vegetarians. It's equity options for people who have equity to tap into. Be present and provide differentiating value. But don't necessarily always look over your shoulder to see where your competition is. Focus on what you can focus on and focus on what you can control to build your business.
Sorry, Brad, I had a little interruption here. I'm back on track now. So look, I think what Brad is saying is incredibly important points. And look, let me just put this out there right now. This question: is being answered by this entire presentation. Brad, how many lenders use Homebot?
Tens of thousands right now.
Lenders, not loan officers, lenders.
We've got probably 300 or so of various sizes, broker shops all the way to the top.
Fantastic. Sales Boomerang has almost 200. You guys want to know how to differentiate yourself? There's thousands, literally thousands of lending institutions. We're talking about hundreds that use this strategy. You are instantly differentiating yourself when you incorporate the best-in-class technologies. We just talked about using technology to win, to make a difference, okay? So you can, you instantly differentiate yourself by incorporating, if nothing else, these two technologies or other best-in-class technologies to help you gain the trust and be the best you can be for your team first, right? How do you recruit the best talent? You offer the best solutions together as a team. But the differentiation is the best-in-class tech stacks that work together to take your workforce. You have 100 people, you can make them work like 1,000 if you have the right technology in place. You can literally get a production of 1,000 people if you have the right automation, the right conversations, the right tech stack that work together, not siloed, not I bought this because this was cool and this group needed it, but nobody else knows how to use it. It has to be a standalone. I have to log in and figure out how to use it. No, it needs to be integrated. Remember, Lego tech. How can I build things that work well together no matter what? I add another technology, it fits in with my tech stack. I add another technology, fits in. I add a technology, it doesn't fit in. I'm sorry. You got to get rid of it. Find something as good or close to being good, but makes it way better because you've added it to your existing tech stack.
The scalability, Alex. Yeah, it's so important because it's not just the 1 + 1 = 3 for your tech stack. You put Homebot and Sales Boomerang together, you get 1 + 1 = 3, but you also can empower your employees to be better.
Exactly.
Right. So, I mean, it's not just technology upon technology. It's also to make your employees better employees, more productive employees. Homebot will be the least paid, most valuable marketing person you have. Sales Boomerang will be the least paid, most valuable business intelligence data mining that you can have. Make your employees smarter and more productive with technology.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Guys, I know you guys are getting lots of insights and values here. So one last question. This is the last poll question we have. This is a really cool one. Everyone engage, everyone answer, because everyone has opinions here. So if we don't hear from everyone, I'm going to be shocked. Turn off the email, turn off the phone, look at the screen, answer the poll question. Why do borrowers choose another lender in their loan, for their next loan? Why do borrowers choose another lender for their next loan? Rates, fees, other loan terms, relationship, trust, better service. Why do you guys think? I am, out of every poll question, Brad, this is the one I'm most excited about because in my opinion, this could literally be split, 33%. It could be, but I want to see if there's any winner. So please look at your screen, answer the poll question. This is really interesting. This is a really subjective question that we're going to dialogue about, ask some, and then we have, and then that's it. We're wrapping up and we can do some Q&A.
I think we have one more question after this.
Yeah.
Yep.
A quick one, but it's not a poll question.
No, not a poll question. This is a really interesting poll question. I'm curious to see what the results will be.
Yeah. Why do borrowers choose another lender for their next loan? Let's give it 5 more seconds and then let's see what we get. It's awesome. I'm on the edge of my seat, everybody, literally. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Not completely even. So we have rates, fees, other loan terms. 65% of you say the people make a decision based on rates, fees, and other loan terms. Okay, we're going to unpack that in a second because we just talked about Quicken and Rocket, for a couple of minutes. And it's obviously not the only reason, right? It's not the reason because they keep winning. Relationship and trust, better service. Now that to me is going to be a big driver. The fact, okay, listen here for a second, everyone. The fact that we believe it's rates, fees, and other loan terms is the reason they don't go with the same lender. I think that is the challenge in the industry. It is this misconception right here. And for some reason, we keep feeding ourselves these lies to make ourselves feel better. It can't be me. It can't be me. It's got to be the rate, and I can control the rate. My boss told me this is the rate. It can't be me. It can't be my company. It's got to be the fees that we have. And we have to stop telling ourselves those lies.
Alex, if I can, Rodney in the chat, man, he just hit it. They chose another lender because I was not on top of the follow-up. In management, I always
love that, Rodney.
Well said, Rodney. I always preach in management, solve the underlying problem, not the one that just seems so obvious. The problem here is not the rates. The problem here is not someone else with better rates or better fees. The problem is building that trust and that relationship and staying top of mind with your clients. That's how you solve this issue.
You nailed it, Rodney, you nailed it. Please, everyone on this call, if you take anything away from this, when you stand in front of your sales team, you stand in front of your organization, preach as loud as you can that not winning a deal cannot be because of rates. That cannot be the reason. If you allow that to be the scapegoat, the security blanket, you will keep having average to low producers. You want super producer, watch what their response is, why they didn't win the deal. Has nothing to do with rates. Okay. It's exactly what Rodney just said. I just wasn't there. I just didn't make the time. I got busy. I wasn't able to offer value beyond the price. That is going to be, you talk to the top producers, they're going to tell you that's the case. And if they lose it because of rate, that person explained to that originator, hey, I chose it because of rate, because I am in financial trouble. And this little bit will help me so much that I'm sorry I can't go with you. They will tell them that reason, right? And a smart originator will find a way to possibly put them in a better program or go, hey, you know what? You're right. You should do that. If that's the most important thing for you, save that money, right? But it's you ask them, and all of you have those people on their team. They will tell you that they're not losing it because of rate. Okay.
And I don't, on this question, Alex, I know this is our last one, and this is a meaty one that we're wrapping up here, but honestly, isn't my borrower just looking for the lowest rate or payment they can find? I would say, maybe, probably, but do you blame them, Alex? Do you really blame the consumer for maybe focusing on rate when that's all they know about mortgages is rates? That's all they've been educated on or marketed on and sold on. And I'd liken it a little bit to financial planners. Financial planners, a lot of people just see their value in terms of, what the lens of what will my return be given in a period of time. So it's very similar to interest, just in the a little different, but similar vein. But yeah, it's deeper than that, right? What are my short-term and long-term goals? What expenses do I have that I need to plan for? What risks am I willing to take? How flexible am I with my liquidity and my equity? To me, that sounds very familiar, right? These are questions that we should be asking our clients because it's so pertinent to our mortgage clients as well. I don't blame a borrower for shopping on rates when that's all they know to do, because we haven't educated them to be better and smarter than that.
Well, Brad, and everyone on this call, if I'm sitting with you and you're my customer and you're my borrower, and I explain to you that, look, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, the borrowers, the people that work with me within a 10-year period end up generating more wealth than working with any other person, because I don't focus on the loan. I use the loan as a financial vehicle for you to build your wealth. So every time a customer does a loan with me, I 2x their wealth within 10 years. I'm just making something up, guys. I want to know how many borrowers are going to be like, you know what, never mind, I'm going to go in for the lowest rate. I don't want to be wealthier. I just want to pay $30 less a month. So that's all I want. Hey, I can make that. If you pay $30 more a month with me, I can turn that $30 additional, that $360 a year, into $50,000 in equity for you, in value for you. And I'll show you how as we begin to build this relationship, because my relationship starts after we do this loan, not while we're trying to. I don't care about this loan. What I care about is, how do I help you? I want to know how many consumers are going to be like, forget it, I need to save that. You're going to have 20% of people that still say, look, I need to save that $30. That $30 is a meal a month for my family. And I need that more than I need wealth tomorrow, because I just can't afford to survive without it. Fantastic. You should be the first one to recommend it to them. But if it's anything outside of that, show them how you're going to use this vehicle and put it in that language. And I cannot ever see a person, a human, because we all still follow those needs, the inherent needs, Maslow's laws, and all, the pyramid of what we need in our life. That wealth, that shelter, that protection, that security is still number one for us as human beings. And if you can show people that, instead of saying, I can save you $30 a month. You're going to have people that are willing to spend whatever it takes and give you the time and energy to do it. And not just looking for a lower rate, because lower rate doesn't mean anything except for you pay a little bit less right now, but it doesn't mean it's the best solution. It doesn't mean it could mean you have buyer's remorse after the fact, which happens a lot. Brad, we covered a lot of important topics. Look, I will say this to everyone on this call. If for whatever reason, if you haven't spoken to Homebot, reach out to them. Brad and the people at Homebot aren't looking to sell you something. They're looking to show you something. And you need to see yourself in the solution. If you don't, that's okay. You will learn something like you did today. Sales Boomerang, same thing. Schedule a demo. Learn something. Understand something about the business. Understand something about what the biggest fintechs in the world are doing to win. And they win by knowledge and anticipation. Knowledge and anticipation. Both groups give you that. But we're not trying to sell you a solution. We're trying to give you information so you can see yourself in the solution. If you don't see yourself in these solutions, don't do it. Take the information and put it to use somewhere else. But do not miss out on the chance right now where we are in this industry today to be prepared for 22, 23, 24, 25. We didn't build this for 21, 20, and 19. We built this for 23, 24, 25. Like
So much
where
more
we're going
now than it's ever been.
Yes.
Ever been. Right. And you've got to stay in touch with your clients who are not going to do a refi every 6 months now.
Yes.
They need more information. You need to invest in your book of business now, invest in your agent partnerships now, because that's how you turn your record year that you had last year into a record career for the future.
Love that. Beautiful, beautifully said. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, for your participation. Audience was awesome today. And we will let everyone go right on time. Brad, thanks for everything, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon.
Talk to you guys.
Bye.
See you, everyone. Thank you.